So it's much later, still reading this book. I'm definitely gonna unhaul this after to get 4 more books added to the stack. I am behind. Send help. Why do we work? Why do we humans do this to ourselves? So good. It's talking about love. It's talking about lots of stuff. Hello friends. So starting another reading vlog. I am behind on my 30 for 30 challenge. 30 books, 30 days. We gotta fix that. Okay, I literally have a stack of a bunch of small books that I would like to finish within this next week, because I have T-minus 7 days and 18 books to read. Yeah, I did that to myself. I did. I really did. Not smart. Not gonna try and read all 12 in this vlog. This is gonna be more of a weekend vlog because yeah, I decided main priorities are small books. I do have Stamped, which I've been reading and I'm enjoying it. It's interesting because it definitely does feel played down, like the way that Jason Reynolds is explaining certain things. He's playing things down. So this is a book all about race and the beginnings of racism. They were talking about the first like person who like had a physical like document of being racist. Lovely, lovely. Definitely want to finish this. I also have been reading, I literally got to page like 14, Perfect on Paper, cute romance, but these are a bit bigger. I have small books, which is the name of the game. We gotta get through 18 books, 7 days. I have 3 plays that I purchased so long ago, and I should read them. Plays still can take me a bit to read. Reading physically, I'm a slow reader. And I also got 2 poetry books that it would be helpful to show you the cover. 2 poetry books. This one is a little bit longer, but still poetry, so hopefully get through some of these. We will see. That is really, let's see if I can do this, because this would really help. And especially if I do this in the next 2 days, it'll make me feel a little better, because then I can do more manga reading and not freaking the F out. You know what I mean? I'm also in the middle of doing my hair, which is why it's up like this. Hair mask is in. I actually really need to do my hair for a self-tape tomorrow. So that's gonna take like 4 hours out of my day. We love that for me. Also still on the gym grind. Went to the gym this morning, very proud. But nonetheless, let's get into it. It's been a few hours and I finished doing my hair, and I was listening to the audiobook of Perfect on Paper. The book is somewhere, and I was listening to it while in the shower, and something was just revealed that this main character did that I'm like, I no longer really like her. Like, I wasn't like loving or like really relating to her overall. I was just like, oh cool, she's giving love advice, she seems to really like this stuff, yada yada. This guy's giving her sass. He seems to not understand just basic like human courtesy of being nice, saying hello. So I was like, not liking him too much either. But you know, we're trucking along. We find out this girl, the main girl, has a crush, maybe unrequited. She's trying to figure it out. It's not a spoiler. I don't want to say it just in case people don't want to be spoiled. So I will put an emoji here. I'm going to spoil a little bit of Perfect on Paper, and if you don't care, keep watching. But this girl, wait, let me put the camera down. This girl, so she gives advice to people, romantic advice through the locker system. You know, people drop in a note being like, oh, this girl dumped me, I want her back, all this stuff. Okay, this girl gets a letter knowing that it's from her friend that she may or may not have feelings for because of the handwriting, saying that her friend kissed another girl and she's interested and she doesn't know what to do. And our main character is like, I like her, so I'm gonna tell her bad advice on purpose. Immediately disgusted. Does she get a happy ending at the end of this book? Probably. Do I want her to? Not really. And if she really doesn't learn her lesson, I'm gonna be pissed. Because not only does she do that, she gives her bad advice. And then a week later, the girl that was kissed writes a little letter saying, hey, I had a good kissing session with this girl and I thought she was into me. Now she's being weird. What do? Our protagonist, as lovely as she is, goes, oh, maybe she wasn't into you. The audacity. I'm done talking about this because I'm unacceptable behavior. I don't care if you're 16, 17. Just because you got a crush on someone does not mean you sabotage. I've been there. Rude. Forever lost a friend. I hope bad shit happens to her at this point now. I also got a fun package in the mail. I think it says it's from HarperCollins. Don't know what to expect. It's really like a really thin package. So it can't be a book. Or can it? No, it's not a book. What is this? Ooh, some stuff for Elizabeth Acevedo. How fun. So I have little themed Acevedo pens. If it'll focus on the pens and not my face. Yep, Poetics, Clap When You Land, and With the Fire on High. So I can show that I'm a real fan. Ooh, and a magnet. Oh, this is fun. Okay, and then it's a magnet sheet with a bunch of stuff. Thought, books, word, poetry. Oh, I think you can like put this on your fridge and create your own poetry. Yep. The Inheritance, a visual poem. That is fun. I love that. I love the interactiveness and that it is a poem. But there's no inheritance in here. I know I was gonna get a copy. Someone emailed me. Maybe that's in part 2 of this package. I will keep you abreast. See what happens. Now I'm gonna get back to reading and kind of silently hoping that our main protagonist gets like hugely stepped on. So it's much later. Still reading this book. I'm definitely gonna unhaul this after. I look like a wad of hair. Wow. So starting off with a positive note, I like that each chapter starts with a kind of letter opening of someone asking for relationship help, and I just came across one for a possible aromantic person, and they explain asexuality and aromanticism and stuff like that, and I was like, yes. But that is the only point in time that I've gone yes. Every other time I'm like, girl. Very much not liking the main character very much. Like, I don't enjoy her behavior. I already said, if you watch that little spoilery clip about her doing things I don't like, and it's like she just continues to do things that I'm just like, girl, I get you 17 and stuff, but I don't know, cool. It's like romance, you're literally playing with people's feelings. So, and only really looking out for your own interest. Like, terrible. If she really cared for this person, she wouldn't be just like throwing bombs everywhere. She'd be like, hey, you should go talk to your girlfriend. You should go, like, communicate. Not just be like, let me poop all over this. Don't like her. Me thinking about DNFing this book, but I probably shouldn't because I do want to see her get like hit in the face really hard. Some people who, I bet people who are watching this, some of y'all probably like this. Representation's good. It's interesting. I'm hooked. But like, this main girl, I do not approve of her behavior at all. Miss Thang. Can't root for you. Can't root for you. Can't even root for the girl that she likes. Like, this is kind of, it's not a love triangle. Not yet anyways. I feel like it's gonna become one soon. But the girl she has a crush on, I don't even like her. She seems like one of those people who likes the attention of others, and that's why she's like behaving the way she does. Not many people to be liked in this book. There was one guy, Finn, who got incredibly high. He was chill. He seemed nice. Okay, and just like that, I finished Perfect on Paper. I'm giving it a 3 stars. It definitely got better. I know I was angry in the earlier clips. I did not like what she did, but she did face the consequences, and I liked that. But I am also very irritated about something else, which is spoilery. I'll talk about that in a second, and I'll let you know. But overall, definitely got better. I do still think there's a lot of characters in this book that just aren't very likable in my opinion. They're very young, and they're just doing weird stuff. Like the main love interest, Brooke, or one of the main love interests. There's Brooke, who is like, what's the main girl's name? I like literally don't even know what. Darcy. So the main girl, Darcy, had a crush on this girl, Brooke, for such a long time, unrequited love. But like Brooke also wasn't endearing as a character, and I think she was supposed to be. But like the way she treated her friendships was very transactional. Like she'd hang out with her new girlfriend and then she'd just ignore Darcy. And then when she got mad at her girlfriend, then she'd go full Darcy. And she was very like needy, but like I feel like not there for others. So Brooke didn't feel like a very, I don't know, kind person to me. And she made some comics that were kind of biphobic and things like that. The book does talk a lot about biphobia. Our main character, Darcy, is bi. I feel like I didn't even mention that. Silly me. But then there's this guy, Broem, who is also a love interest for Darcy. And he just isn't likable because he's just very gruff and honest. And you kind of learn to like his humor, but I just don't feel like his banter is fun. He feels like that guy who would pick a fight with you just to have fun. Not my cup of tea. And then obviously Darcy is a messy ass girl making all these mistakes. If you listen to the spoilery bit earlier, you know what she did. Not cool. But she's learning from her mistakes. So I feel like this book is very realistic in the sense that people aren't perfect. That, you know, they're going through things. They're learning. Get it. Got it. Good. There's also lots of queer conversations. Get it. Got it. Good. But is this a new favorite? No. Would I reread it? No. I also highly recommend Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett if you like this book, because that also talks a lot about biphobia and things like that. But it was still fun because the plot outside of the romance was existent. This one was fully focused on these characters, and if you don't care for the characters, you're not gonna like it. But if you love kind of unlikable characters or more like relatable, realistic, if you like those characters, you'll definitely like this book a lot. I still recommend it. Maybe take it out on your like library first. The audiobook was good. Overall, like a solid 3 star. I think the messaging was all good. I just don't think I had like the enjoyment, and I think that's mostly because I wasn't rooting for the characters. I was rooting for them to face consequences, and this is the one spoiler bit, so I'll put an emoji up here. I'm gonna be talking spoilers for just like 2 seconds in case you care to hear if you read this book or if you don't plan on reading it. So spoiler bit. I didn't like that. Okay, Darcy had this business with the locker. Then she was collecting money for her services. She gets caught. She gets in trouble. She gets suspended. Everyone is rude to her. She loses some friendships, yada yada. I enjoyed that she faced that consequence, but I didn't enjoy the fact that she got all this like retaliation for this. But the girl, there's a girl, Ray, Brooke's girlfriend, Ray, new girlfriend or whatever. Ray, the reason why Darcy broke this confidentiality thing was because Ray admitted to rigging the student council election so she could win over Brooke, which is so wrong on so many levels. So it was just crazy, and the only kind of consequence Ray faced was having to apologize and be kind to Brooke and being like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And it did take time, so I think that made sense, but I didn't like the fact that she didn't face any consequences like suspension or things like that. Whereas, like, these are seniors. These people are trying to go to college and stuff. So I didn't like that she literally cheated her way into being a student council president, rigged it, and then faced no consequences over that. That pissed me off, but I understand. She's not the protagonist or whatever, but in the book they kind of tried to make it like, oh, it's okay because, you know, she was going to admit it, but she didn't have to because Brooke forgave her. I'm like, sis, I got shut down for my business. And Darcy's all like, oh, it's okay, it's not your fault, I got caught and I got in trouble. It's like, it literally is, because Brooke then told Ray about the locker being run by Darcy, and then Ray told everyone in the school. Like, no, Ray has some shit. She is at fault Okay, that either made no sense because you haven't read this book, or you get it because you've read this book. Let me know how you feel. But that is perfect on paper. 3-star. I'm unhauling this because I was like, that was good to read, but not my favorite. Definitely check out my Pango Books account. I'll link it down below if you want to purchase any of the books that I've unhauled in the last like year and a half. I feel like it's been so long. I have like 60 books listed. I'm going to list this. It is an ARC. I sell ARCs for just like the minimum like $1, so that way shipping is covered. But yeah, go check that out. Now I have to pick my next read. And I think it's going to be stamped. I already am like 30 pages into this, but this is a pretty dense book because it is about racial history, the racism, you know. So I think I'm going to balance this out with possibly a poetry collection, see how I feel about that. Let's do it. Let's get into it. I'm just so happy I finished this book. It's been on my TBR forever. I literally got this ARC March 2021. It's taking me a whole year and a month to finish this book. I'm really bad at ARCs. I need to do a whole reading vlog where I just catch up on my ARCs. I also recently got a different ARC that I'm excited for, but I'm not timely with my ARCs, which is just, I need to work on that. Ooh. So since this book isn't plot-based, so if you didn't know, Stamped is a kind of young adult retelling by Jason Reynolds of a different book, which was called Stamped from the Beginning, which is all about how racism first began. Because if you didn't know, racism is a structure that a lot of people poured a lot of energy and time into, using their power to, you know, oppress other people legislatively, like with full momentum. Like, oh god, it's an interesting thing to read about. It really makes me want to punch somebody in the face, but I digress. So I was going to share tidbits of this story. It's not spoilery, but I think they're really interesting to like find out about. And I think the point that I wanted to point out to you, let me say point a couple times. There was a section that talked about white privilege being a like construct that the white elite made because they realized when the colonies started to rise up against Great Britain, that they were like, oh no, we're probably going to be next because we are also oppressing them and underpaying them and things like that. So they created differences between the poor white and the slaves. So they created a difference where everyone could treat black people poorly, like even the poor white people could, and there was more heinous punishments for black people, like getting whipped and things like that, which makes sense because then in our modern day society, that's probably why people think that harming black people, there's no consequence, or that regularly in our justice system there is very little consequence for like when there's harm to a black person, because subconsciously it's like, oh well, are they really a person? That's why you always hear those arguments about like, oh, they were bad, we don't know what they were doing, they were looking shady, they're thugs. It's like, this is stuff that some rich ass dude from freaking the 1700s, 1600s created to continue to divide us so we wouldn't actually progress and be better. So for anyone who's like, oh my god, I'm talking about race, it's important because when we deconstruct these ideas, we can move past them, and that way we don't have to argue about semantics and bull hanky. So that was just a fun point. I will mention other fun points as I read along. Okay, I'm feeling quite relaxed. Reading always relaxes me. I love it so much. I am now on chapter 11, page 83 of Stamped. Still enjoying the mic drops and all this stuff. Very good read. But then I also picked up Corazon, which is a poetry book, which I'm very much enjoying. I'm 20 pages in. I think it's only like 80 pages long, but so good. It's talking about love, it's talking about lots of stuff, but there's some of them that I'm like, oh, because you know, love's a hard thing, difficult thing. I also love that the poet, besides obviously being Spanish, like Hispanic, she lives in Los Angeles and she's El Salvadorian, if you care. So very much enjoying this, hoping to finish this today. We'll finish both of these today and more. But now I have to get ready for self-tape, which I'm so excited for. Trying to change my mindset because I'm like so comfy like drinking my coffee and reading that I'm like, why do we work? Why do we humans do this to ourselves? What's good, y'all? It's the next day. I did finish one book, which is good, I guess. This time around, 30 books in 30 days, I am feeling the pressure. So let me go grab the book that I finished, obviously, to talk about it. You would think I'd be prepared. So I finished this book last night, stamped, by Jason Reynolds. But there was actually a lot of very interesting facts, and I did want to share them with you, but at some points I was just like engrossed and just listening, and I did slow down the audiobook because I feel like each chapter has a lot of material. So I definitely want to read the full novel at some point, because this again is just a kind of retelling of it. If you've ever read a book from Jason Reynolds, he's very expressive and he has such an interesting way of explaining things. The way he explained like people who wanted segregation, he called them the haters, and then there's the assimilationists. They were the cowards because they had this idea that, you know, if we cater to white people, they will love black people. We just have to teach them to love us. And how do we do that? Oh, we need to be more like them so they can understand us. But it's like, no, you should love people for who they are, and yada yada. And then you have the anti-racist who think just equality of the races. You don't have to plead to anyone or get anyone to love you for what you are, because that already puts you at a disadvantage, already puts you below. But I also really loved how they talked about different people in history. They talked about obviously like Obama, who would pitter-patter between assimilationist and anti-racist, which is probably why people really love his viewpoint, because he catered to a lot of people and their ideology. It also talked about W.E.B. Du Bois, which is interesting. All of my teachers from college were like, he's the ish, read his books. Yes, but his history is very interesting, breaking it down literally from century or like from decade to decade about how his ideas grew from kind of elitist, like, oh, we need to pander to the people, to, okay, no, let's freedom right now, freedom, let's go. Why are we waiting? Very, very interesting stuff. Enjoyed it. I feel like I'm gonna reread this like once a year, honestly, and it's very short and has lots of resources, so probably should read more. It's always good when you finish a book and it makes you want to read more, right? I didn't finish this little poetry book, which is kind of sad. Loud car. 31 pages in. Super cute. Really loving it. And then I started Don't Ask Me Where I'm From. I am 150 pages in, so I'm really hoping to finish this tonight so I can get 4 books done if I finish these 2 tonight, to get 4 more books added to the stack. I am behind. Send help. Okay, so I finished Don't Ask Me Where I'm From, and boy, did I enjoy this. Not a new favorite, so not a 5-star, but I'm thinking 4-star. I really enjoyed the experience. I thought it was really, like, how do I explain this? First of all, the synopsis. That's a good place to start. So, the synopsis of Don't Ask Me Where I'm From is about a girl, Liliana, who is, I believe she's 14. She's a freshman in high school, and she was attending a public high school in Boston, but then she got accepted to this MECA program, I think is what it's called. It's a diversity initiative to get more people into nice private schools. So she ends up having to go to this private school, but it's like freaking an hour away. So she has to wake up at like 5 in the morning, get the bus, go to school hella early. So it's interesting because it talks about this whole transition of getting into this school. I swear, if there's a fucking spider on me, I'm gonna cry. I saw a spider earlier, so I have a bit of the heebie-jeebies, so ignore me. But the plot progresses from there, and it talks a lot about race in a very interesting way, in a very explosive way. We learn something happens to her father, and we're really struggling and being very hopeful for his circumstance. But yeah, talks about immigration and race issues in these schools and these platforms. it's just interesting. And it also brings in like social media hate in a sense, and how people speak on Twitter. Oh, it was just bought by Elon Musk. Oh god, what is the world gonna do? But overall, really great. I think I loved the writing style. She did sound like a young voice, she did sound like a girl, but I will say I feel like it was a little just heavy-handed on the, you know, what's up, hello, I'm hip. The lingo felt just a tinge forced for me, but overall still really enjoyed it. And I was rooting for the main character a lot, and I felt a lot of what she was feeling, and I felt both like just really empathetic for the situation that was happening. And I really liked the point of like, just stop making assumptions about people, ask more questions. Like, damn, like it's not that hard, guys. We're all from somewhere, so no matter where you're from, tell us your story. Don't mean you gotta go ask people where they're from. You know what I mean? This is probably, again, the worst description of a book ever. Incapable of having good words. Okay, but it's 9 p.m. I finished this book, which means out of all the physical books I've read like 7 manga this month, and I'm probably going to spend the last like 2 days of this kind of month challenge just straight up reading like 10 mangas to catch up, because this means, let me just show you, if you're watching this vlog, you get a little sneak peek to the wrap up. So yeah, just finished. Don't ask me where I'm from. I didn't mean to say it that hard. Wow, clearly have feelings about that title. Then I also read Stamped. Then I have my other physical books that I've read. Perfect on Paper, which you guys saw me reading yesterday, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Next I read The Proposal, a cute romance. I don't think I ended up vlogging this. I attempted it, but I got busy and became a bad vlogger and then didn't vlog the rest of it. So this, on the other hand, so cute. The Cowboy's Claim, my first like HarperCollins book. I'm definitely gonna check out more from this author because it is a romance story. It's not like super smutty though. It's just perfect amount of like this specific story is enemies to lovers. I'm an actress, so I felt very connected to the main character. An actress is up for a role where she will have to learn about like riding horses and stable life. So she gets sent from LA to like the East Coast to like learn about horses and stuff. And our main leading man is like, you Hollywood types, you. And then yeah, they hate each other and then they love each other, and it's very cute. And I think it definitely depicts the struggle of being an actor and romance, and how, yo, it's real hard to date an actress, like for real. Okay, then I also read Bookish and the Beast, and then the first book I think I finished, well actually I think the first book I finished was The Shadow Wand, which was this like massive, I was reading the Black Witch, what's it called? I started off this month reading the Black Witch Chronicles series, as you guys may know. I have not finished the 4th installment. I don't want to for this month, just because I need to reach 30 books, and I can't waste 500 pages when that could have been 2 books and not just one fat one. You know what I mean? But yeah. The second/first book that I finished was Black Girls Must Be Magic, which is the 2nd installment of a trilogy about a black woman struggling through being adult, which I don't know if we can all relate to, but I sure as hell can. I think most adults can. And then if you're a woman and you're black, you definitely will relate. So that is the stack as of late. I think I'm gonna wrap up this vlog because I have like no idea how much I've been filming. I have no idea how much I've been filming or for how many days I've been filming. I feel like I have sucked at vlogging during this challenge. My bad. I'm doing my absolute best. But yeah, wrapping up the vlog, I'm really happy with a lot of the reads that I've had so far. I feel like last time I had a lot more DNFs and unhauled books. So far we only have 1 unhaul, and it's not like it was a really bad book. It was just that I personally didn't enjoy the main character. So I feel like this is a win, right? Okay, well, if you made it to the end of this video, leave down below this emoji so I know you are the real MVP, and I appreciate you so much. If you don't know, I'm selling a lot of the unhauled books that I have unhauled throughout last year on my Pango Books account. I will link it down below, and if you are new to Pango Books, like the app, you can use the code JND5 and get a little discount on checkout, and that's for new users, and it only ships or functions in the US, which I'm very sorry, but a lot of you guys are from the US, so hopefully some of you guys can utilize it. If not, no worries. I have a Patreon if you want extra content, and yeah, all that YouTube stuff. Like this video, leave a comment. What is life? This is such a weird, I'm like literally by myself in my room talking to y'all, but I'm hyped because I've read some good books. That's the only thing getting me through. I sound emotional. I am. Moving on. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. And let's all pray together that I finish some more books. Bye.